that last video was pretty heavy, wasn't it? So I figured for the second video of the day, let's just do something a little bit lighter. A reaction video. You all know that I'm a pretty big One Piece fan. Well, the artist that did the very first One Piece opening, has done his whole song in one take for our viewing pleasure. Let's take a look at it. Let's see how good it comes out, and maybe we'll learn something new about music along the way. Before we do, welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and please do subscribe to the channel because I can only make it so far with your guys' support, and I truly appreciate it. We want to get nerd culture to have free speech again, and sometimes we can take a break and just listen to some good old-fashioned anime music in true nerd fashion. Let's get into it, shall we? I love seeing that hat right there. The straw hat is totally indicative and invokes the feel of One Piece.
Yarodomo! Shukoda!
He seems excited. Oh, look at that. They're doing a full band set. Not only got drums, we got the horns. The vocalist seems excited. I'm all in with as big as One Piece has gotten lately. I mean, the last several years, but especially since the live action release. Yeah, I'm feeling this. There's of course going to be pauses, copyright purposes. You guys understand. Oh, Violet, look at her fingers. Oh my god, female on the bass. It reminds me of one of the greatest bands you guys have never heard of called Hardline. You want a strong female bassist? Check out Hardline. Oh, I'm getting chills. I could be wrong, but I feel like he kind of hit that note a little bit flat. Again, that's kind of one of the best things about the first take. They're doing everything in one go. So if you hit some flat notes, hit some bad notes, that's gonna be there, and that's a-okay. And I could be wrong. Again, maybe that's how it was done in the original Japanese. But yeah, going off the English version, that note felt flat.
One Piece. 羅針盤なんて渋滞のもと熱に浮かされ怪事を取るのさ誇りかぶってた高台の地図も確かめたのなら伝説じゃない
Oh, that was so... okay, so what he was doing there, I mean, you could feel... You could really feel the emotion in his voice. He's obviously very happy to be here, and I know that seems like such obvious critique, but I was just on a stream last night with Zax on his channel, and we were talking about how if an individual makes a movie or some sort of piece of art, and even if the piece of art isn't necessarily good, when their passion is there, when their emotion is there, you can still really feel it in the art, and that's what I'm getting from this. Now, granted, this is good. Like, I'm enjoying this, aside from that one note that seemed flat, but it's just pointing out the fact that when you have someone who has passion, you're inherently gonna feel more when they get into that artistic endeavor, because that passion just oozes out, and it infects you as the viewer. So when you hear this vocalist coming in and just giving these lines, these lyrics that actually aren't that difficult in terms of the vocal range, such emotion, it just puts a smile on your face. It makes you want to bop to it, you know? Hence the way I've just sort of been, dancing around and moving to the beat. It's been nice.
個人的な嵐は誰かのバイオリズムの糧追い過ごせばいい
Yeah, that was a good, that sort of higher note, that was nice. That was good to hear him hit, because since he went flat on the lower side, I was worried how his range was going to be live in one take. But no, that was really well done. ありったけの夢をかき集め探し物を探しに行くのさポケットの声 hear that English in there. It's like, if you want to be my friend, that was really good. I don't know that I've actually heard the song in Japanese before. Like I said, I'm very familiar. Even when you watch this, back in the day on TV, or even nowadays on Netflix, if you're just starting One Piece for the first time, this opening is in English. You hear the Vic Mignogna vocal version. So I don't know if I've heard the Japanese one before. So it's cool to know that line is in English.
We are on the coast. We are
solo time. All right, so I gotta break something down right there with that solo. So it's not necessarily a difficult solo. However, there's a difference between the way that the Western world plays guitar and the Eastern world plays guitar. So the Western side uses 5-note scales, the Eastern side uses 5-note scales, whereas we in the West use, I believe, 7-note scales. And that makes a difference in terms of when you're writing music and, of course, doing solos based on those scales. So while that wasn't necessarily difficult, it's not the same sort of scale that you would hear if you were listening to an American, like an American guitar solo. So yeah, I really appreciated that. The Eastern culture, because they are a very technical, based culture, they treat songwriting like math. And as someone who plays guitar, and honestly plays all the main instruments, guitar, bass, drums, but guitar being the one I probably play the most, even bass being my favorite, it's very difficult to play the guitar solos, and sometimes even just the guitar in general, of Japanese music. Japanese guitar is very difficult because they go with their songwriting in a much different way than we do here in the West. And so I love seeing that. I love being able to see just live versions of anime or any sort of Eastern guitar work just go full ham and hitting it with such force. That is so awesome. And now we get to see something similar being done with the brass section. Let's go. Bass. Oh, that bass looks like so much fun. I want to learn this song on bass more than any other instrument, just because her finger movements make this look like it's such a captivating song to play.
真に受けて信じちゃっても肩をされて一歩リードさ今度会えたなら話すつもりさそれからのこととこれからのことをつまりいつもピンチは誰かにアピールできるいいチャンス自意識過剰に
Alright, so once again, I think in the first verse he hit that note flat, and the reason I believe that is we got to the second verse, he's singing it again, and I did not hear that same flatness. Now, either that portion of the song didn't repeat itself, but I'm pretty sure that portion of the song does repeat itself, and he just didn't hit flat. So that's one of the great things about seeing these live takes, is that you can hear mistakes, and that's part of seeing music live. I don't know if you've ever been to a concert or whatnot, but you're actually gonna hear mistakes when you hear these bands live. Almost no band plays their entire set list perfectly all the way through. It's just, do you have the ear trained to pick out those mistakes? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to hear them. They're very good at covering them up. Any good professional musician can cover up a mistake. However, when you're in an instance like this, where you've got, no crowd roaring, just uproarious crowd happy to see you live, when it's in a very silent, more or less, no audience, basically, studio setting, those mistakes are going to be more noticeable. So yeah, I think he did in fact hit a flat note, and then in the second verse, when it repeats that sort of cadence, he corrected it, which I love to see, because again, these musicians, as talented as they are fallible.
しみたれた夜をぶっ飛ばせ みはないけどポケットにロマンそれと You wanna be my friend We are on the coast We are 愛つけの夢をかき集め探し物探しに行くのさポケットの恋それと You wanna be my friend We are on the coast We are
See, right there, that second we are, it seemed like he maybe didn't quite get a big enough breath intake before he said it again. So, again, I'm just going off of when I performed live and some of the things, the mistakes that I've made. It seemed like he was like, oh, shit, I got one more line. You gotta say we are again. And he didn't quite get a big enough breath intake. There wasn't quite that diaphragm power behind it. So, yeah, that, or again, maybe the Japanese version is just like that, and I'm unfamiliar, but I don't think so. If you're performing this live, you're going to want to have that power behind it, and I think he kind of missed it there.
We are
So yeah, that's very So we're going to get all three of those.
We are
Yeah, notice how that middle one, maybe it's intentional, but that middle one was notably less powerful than the first and the third. Usually you would want to build up. You get the first one powerful, second one even more powerful, third one explosively powerful to end the song. I think that there was actually a mistake there. I hadn't done one of these reactions in a long time because, let's be real, I'm a culture war channel. I focus on what's going on in the nerd news, and it very with a political lens. But man, I'm so happy to have done this again. I mean, I'm a big One Piece fan. I've recently started re-going through the series, and as someone who made it into the 900s before, I'm in the 400s again now, and it's been great to rewatch One Piece and just reinvigorate myself after the live-action series and get back into the anime after taking such a long break. And yeah, Marineford Wars, it's coming up, but We Are is one of my favorite anime openings of all time, and so to see this one-take version of it with the original singer was really something special. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Maybe I got some stuff wrong in my reaction to it, and if I did, definitely let me know in the comments below. I always love being proven wrong. Or maybe I gave you some little bit of insight. Maybe you didn't know that the Eastern chords or the Eastern scales are 5 notes instead of 7 notes. And if not, hey, guess what? You learned something new. It's an educational show. I appreciate the fact that you got to learn something. All in all, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I am a nerdy news channel. Usually, I don't do reactions. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about anime, but anything in regards to, music, movies, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon. And remember, it's all here in the nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.